We finally made it. Thank you for being here online with me. I'm here with Richard Gaignon. He's the CEO of 3DCeram. Of course, we all know the company as a pioneer and a leader in the advanced ceramics 3D printing market. So let me just start right away with the question, how the company was born and how it became part of the Sinto group and what that means.
3DCeram was created in 2009, or really was developed in 2009. It's based on the stereolithography technology. And at the beginning, you know, we were making parts, so printing parts, and the business model changed in 2015 about, and we started to sell the complete process, the complete lines. It means printers, kilns, and the know-how to make it run. And we will talk about it later. In 2017, Sinto shows interest to us because, as you said, we are an innovative company, we are a pioneer company, and we are able to handle and to modify or to produce the paste, the machine, the software, and to make parts. So the complete process is in our hand. So that's what was very interesting for Sinto. Now we are a SME, part of a big group. So we have the advantage of the SME, the advantage of the big group. We created subsidiary in China, in Wuhan. We created a subsidiary in Wallingford in the US. And we have a lot of distributors all over the world. We are ready to step into the future and to connect to the future and to see bigger in order to anticipate the growth of the market. And that's why we are currently building a new building facility.
Let's bring it to today, and let's start by looking at current events. So how are you adapting to what's going on, to the current crisis?
At 3DCeram, we decided to say, okay, there is a risk, but when there is a risk, there is an opportunity. So it's time for us to renew the business model or the way we address to potential customers. Our turnover or revenue is mostly overseas. We are making more than 90% outside of France. We changed our website in order to be closer to the need of the customer. And also we created inside our website what we call a virtual showroom, where customers can see the products we are making and can ask for a live demo. What is a live demo? It means that customer can request with a meeting with a sales guy, and then we show him what's going on at 3DCeram, live, machine working, parts cleaning, parts going into the kiln, and so on. So you don't even need to come to Limoges. And we are also doing some small videos about 3D printing of ceramic with experts, which are from 3DCeram or not, and they are talking about that.
Absolutely, and I very much understand the whole the concept of moving. And we were, you know, of course, as a digital media, we've always been promoting that, you know, the digital communication for the industry, and I can see how that's happening. And obviously, the COVID is accelerating maybe this transition. But for a 3D printing company that also has to sell physical products, so like machines and physical parts, how is this new situation affecting the distribution of machines? And is digital installation, like remote digital installation, something that's actually possible?
That's the second part of COVID. First part was to sell equipment. The second part was to train people, and the third part is to commission the equipment and do after sales. And you're right. Now we do some remote maintenance. We are able also to commission the machine not being on site. And for this, we train our distributor in order to be aware how to start the machine and so on. So we qualify some distributor.
What is your strategy to develop the ceramics 3D printing hardware market, which, by the way, it has new challenges now, but it was something challenging even before, right? So what is your strategy to develop this market? What do you think you're doing right? And what are the main products that you think are going to be driving this adoption of ceramic, advanced ceramic 3D printing?
It's not only linked to hardware. So you have to think globally. When we say process provider, we have to think about hardware, the printers and the kilns. We have to think about the software, and I will talk about it. And we have to talk about the services, how to help customers to acquire the know-how to use the equipment and to develop by himself even further than what we can do or what we know to do. So the motto of our strategy is industrialization. And for that, we have dedicated printer. We have the C100 Fab for fabrication and the big C3600. I'm not saying that we do not address the technical center market. There is a dedicated machine for that, the C100 Lab, like laboratory. And we have also the hybrid machine where we can print several materials at the same time, and the historical machine we call C900 Flex. Now for the software, we need to develop software which are user-friendly. So that's why we just launched the Build It software. And the Build It software is a way to create the support in one click, to take into consideration, for instance, the shrinkage, X, Y, Z in one click, to create protection if you want to avoid to have deformation during the printing in one click. So something that even me, not being a specialist of CAD software, I can use. And this is the second step, hardware, software, and services. So that's why we created the 3DCeram, AI-AIM, where first we want to remove the risk in the design. So it's a study to de-risk the design. Then we do, second step, the prototyping. And then the third step is production. Production could be at customer's office or in our office. So different way.
So you mentioned, and I'm very fascinated by this, and the reason why we are so fascinated by ceramics is the end-use material and the end-use applications and the production applications possibilities of these incredible materials. I mean, as a journalist in 3D printing, I think it's one of the most fascinating areas. And also, because we are a new media in 3D printing, we are very interested in production. We understand that prototyping is the core of the business, but we also understand that prototyping is a consolidated. It's been, you know, we know everything about prototyping already, right? We want to look at production. And so well, my question obviously is, what are the applications, the key applications for your, for ceramics 3D printing in general, and the ones that you think you can target?
So it means right now the interest for production is growing, coming. We see a major player in Europe, major player in Asia, in USA, who invest in printers. So one of the most important, David, most important market, investment casting, cores for investment casting. So we have developed with a partner a way to showcase that it was possible to use 3D printing cores, to put it in the injection mold, to put the wax around it, and then after to pour or to cast the alloy. So in the middle, you may see the cores that you see in the wax, and that's this core. We've just signed a partnership with a company whose name Avignon Ceramic. With them, we want to go very fast because we are going to promote a new services whose name is U3DC for cores. It means the customer who want to develop cores, we can now be much faster because we are working with a core manufacturer. That's a very good point. So the second field where you see there is a big interest for 3D printing is biomedical. Biomedical industry, there are so many different products you can make. You can make teeth, you can make skull implant that we are doing since 2007. You can do invertebrate cages, bone substitutes, and so on and so on. There are so many different products. And then so we signed another partnership with a a very well-known specialist in this field, is helping our customer to get the certifications. So you see, we try to develop everything with internally, with partnership, but we do see that aircraft industry, space industry, and biomedical are really the leading market for us, and we are really pushing to this direction.
Have you seen this kind of growth, really an exponential trend, and do you see it accelerating now?
So we are still progressing in terms of revenue, even though there was the COVID crisis. We hope that next year it will be exponential because we have all this partnership going on and we bring really more services to customers. But we anticipate a big wave and a big demand, and we have to be able to supply the hardware, the software, the services. We are ready to step into the future and to connect to the future and to see bigger in order to anticipate the growth of the market.
Thank you very much for this, and speak again soon.
Thank you, David. Bye-bye.